We finally got the next part of the Midnight Society ARG, and in this one the developers had set us up into teams based on what we'd done in the previous sector, and in these teams we had to fight the developers themselves. Each team had 2 developers to take down before we could unlock access to Sector 6. So when the access page went live this time, we had a new video and it had lots of the files and things that we'd seen on the desktop before, but loads of the letters were replaced with symbols. And we'd actually seen these symbols before, so we knew we could use them to sort of flesh out our alphabet of which letter each symbol represented and some of the other numbers that we hadn't managed to get before. In the video, towards the end of it, there were lots of things that flashed up saying like door 2, door 3, door 4 and a set of symbols, and we could decipher that using the alphabet that we'd put together and work out all of these passwords, but we didn't really know what they were for. There wasn't a door 1 code on there, but there was a radio that said Eclipsed on it and had a 1 lit up, so we figured that was probably going to be the sort of door 1 password. We didn't have the password for the map page this time, and I spent absolutely ages trying to work this out and looking into things, even to the point where I was looking at scratches on a wooden desk, thinking that might be symbols, that might be a part of it. Turned out there was a massive thing that said claw right in the middle of one of the frames from the video. I'm pretty sure I'd tried claw at some point, but done it in lowercase. You had to do it in all capitals. That was the map password. That took us through to a sort of higher res version of that image, so you could see the guy standing at the desk and lots of the guns that I think will eventually be part of this Midnight Society game. Remember, all of this concept art is really developed for that game and then just used for the ARG. And the guns are really interesting because they look quite futuristic. There's like things that look like rail guns and stuff like that in there, which is pretty cool. I'm a massive fan of futuristic guns in game. There was also another image of Sector 5, which was the sector that we were going to be heading into. So we fairly quickly realised that basically all the players had to organise themselves in teams and work out between themselves how could they do the most damage. One team had grenades that were doing like 500 damage, so they flew through this really quickly. Us lot with the shotguns, apparently the shotguns had the highest chance to miss, so we just kept on dying over and over again, and it took absolutely bloody ages. But eventually you'd take the developer down, you could loot a version of their visor cortex, which is insured now, so every time you die you'll still keep that one, which is really handy. And then you were faced with a door, and you had different doors depending on which team you were in, and you had to put in one of the passwords. Now luckily these were the ones from the codes that we'd already deciphered from the videos, so that was super simple. You'd get through the door and then you had another developer to fight. Once you fought that developer, you had another door that you had to get through using a passcode, and again, we already had all of them, and then you'd get on and it would talk about Sector 6. And now we know that Sector 6 is going to be on midnight of the 17th of February, or that'll be 8 AM in the morning on the 18th of February in the UK, and of course I'll be streaming then and have a video up of what happens and all of that good stuff. So make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on to get notified when that goes live.